Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to another Access 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview. I'm here with Jason Cohen. Jason, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on the channel.
Good, no problem at all. Good to be here.
Lovely stuff. So am I right in saying you're a boxer who's just turning professional this weekend, I suppose?
Yeah. So just turned over with Kevin Marie, Marie Promotions, and I got my debut this Saturday at Oldham Leisure Centre.
Indeed, indeed. So, just before we kind of speak about the present and the future, we'll speak about the past a little bit. Why did you start boxing?
So I started at 27 now, but I was 13 at the time. And it was just a sport to get involved in, really. And then it's just one of those things you sort of you do it, and then you start to enjoy it. And then you get a little bit deeper into it, and you start fighting and stuff. And it's just one of those things that really that you enjoy and what I'm going to stick at. So I just started for it. It was more recreational, and then I realised that I was pretty good. I ended up getting like my first amateur fight within like 3 months of starting. So like, yeah, just one of those things. Really enjoy it, and yeah,
Most definitely. And for that amateur fight, that first one of yours, do you remember what happened?
yeah. I remember it. It was I was a little bruiser when I was younger, so I got a second round stoppage, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, that was pretty good.
No, definitely a good start. And so, what would you say from your whole amateur experience was your biggest achievement?
The best achievement.
Hmm.
Um, So as an amateur, I had 25 fights, and I think the best achievement I was in there's a championships. I don't know if it's around anymore, but it was about 17, and it was called the CIP Championship for Young Persons. That was like a national competition. I think I was in the semi-finals of that. So that's probably the best achievement. I had to win regionals to get there. Um, yeah, so probably the best one was that, I'd say.
Hmm. Most definitely. And so, just from what I've been listening from you, you said you started at 13, you're now 27, and you're turning over now. And so, what was that kind of whole big break for? And was that just, did you fall out of love with boxing or anything like that?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like it happens, doesn't it? Like you sort of lose love for the sport at some point. So I was 13, I boxed until I was about 17 or 18. I
Hmm.
had about 20 fights.
Hmm.
And then I just packed it in really, a number of reasons. And then it was only during lockdowns when I took it back up again. And I just thought it was one of those, everyone was like doing home workouts and stuff, and I got a bit bored of all that. So I thought, right, let's go to the boxing gym because they were still open. Started training again, and then started falling back in love with it really. And you get to and being a bit older, you sort of have a more mature, disciplined mindset to it. And so that's when I went back into it. I had about five more fights, and then an opportunity came up to turn professional. And it's just something that when I started as a 13-year-old, it was like the dream, and now it's sort of like become a reality. Even though um, yeah, we had that big break in between. But as you said, you sort of fall out of love with it. You go and do other things. I went to university, got a degree, started a career, but I think when you sit down and think about the things that you actually really enjoy doing, boxing was that thing that, I love the most. So something that I'm looking to pursue.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. And so, for yourself, you said you're turning over with Murray Boxing, and of course, you're fighting on one of their cards. And so, how excited are you to be working with them?
Yeah, I can't wait. Kevin's a huge manager. He's got loads of good prospects. He's got champions. I went to his show last weekend. He's got, put some really good shows, gets you matched up well. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to start the journey, really. I mean, everything's to come. So this is, it's a debut, so we've got everything to come, all the experiences to come. But he seems like, from what I know, he's a really good guy, and he puts on these really good shows, and he's got us matched up well. And it's really now I'm in a position where like it's up to me to determine where I go because I've got the manager, got a good trainer, and and it's like comforting in a sense to know that like it's up to me now to put the work in and get to where I want to be.
Yeah, no, definitely, that is a great mindset. And so, for yourself, like you've mentioned, it's just at the beginning of your career at the moment. And so, what would you say is your current main motivation for the sport?
My main motivation, I want to, is to challenge myself. It's like I believe I'm like I'm a good boxer. Never really don't think I reached my potential in the amateur game for a number of reasons. I gave it up. But as I said, it's something that I enjoy doing the most, and it's the challenge, and wanting to get as high as possible and compete with some of the best, and become the best boxer that there is. Really, that's the motivation. Obviously, I want to get titles, and I want to start fighting for those big fights. But it's really the competitive aspects of it where I want to see where I am and challenge myself against some of the best fighters, whether that's in England, in the UK, maybe the world. You never know. So yeah, that's the key motivation.
Of course, and of course that is starting, like we've said, this weekend. And so overall, how's the camp been going?
Yeah, camp's great. I hit my weight like 2 weeks ago,
Hmm.
so it's just all been about putting in the best performance possible. I'm training down in Oldham with Marvin Greaves. He's got a number of good fighters there, a couple of prospects. Another one, he's making his debut as well on Saturday. So we've got a really good stable. We train hard, we get good sparring in, and yeah, I feel ready to go. I feel like I'm ready to put like a top performance in and just take it from there, really.
Definitely, and I touched upon the fact that you said that you have made weight 2 weeks before. That is definitely a privilege. Some fighters definitely don't get that kind of option. But what weight are you going to be coming in at?
Yeah, so it's welterweight at the moment for Saturday, so that's yeah £147.
Hmm. Indeed, okay. And so for these people that may be coming out just to support you and watch you for your debut, what would you say makes yourself interesting as a fighter?
It's just I'm just there to give 100%. I want to be an entertainer. Really, that's what the sport is. You sell tickets, and it's about putting on a show for the people who spend the hard-earned money to come and watch you. You don't just want to just be tapping around. You want to go out there. You want to give 100%. Um, and just show what you can do, really, yeah, and be as exciting as possible. And that's really all I can say.
Definitely, and I suppose stylistic wise, or even growing up as inspiration, is there any kind of fighters that you do look at?
So I suppose growing up, I think when I started, it was when I started boxing, it was like 2008, 2009. So we had like Ricky Hatton who was fighting Mayweather and Pacquiao around that time. So those are the type of fights that you'd see, and that. And I think what I really enjoyed is that going forward, pushing forward those pressure type of fighters.
Hmm.
Um, Getting more further on in my boxing, I started to, look at Golovkin a bit more. I thought his style was like one of the best in terms of how I saw good styles. Like it was one of the most entertaining styles that you'd see. So I sort of like see them as the kind of people that I looked up to, I suppose, when I was boxing. Yeah. But in terms of my style, it's like I am a bit of a pressure fighter, but I also like to be more technical and, stick to like nice boxing as well and just, setting traps and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, mate. And so you kind of touched upon this already, but how far do you believe you can go in the sport?
Yeah, I believe I can do anything in the sport, really. I mean, I don't want to, start saying that, I want to, be world champion or anything. I want to take it fight by fight, see where we go, start off on Saturday and then we'll go there and then we'll get a number of fights. Like I said, I've got a great manager, so we'll get those fights that get me into that level, and then we'll start fighting for like area titles, English titles, maybe, going further than that. But I'm really just trying to take it fight by fight. I know personally, like I've got the potential to do whatever I want in this sport as long as I, stick, as long as my mindset stays right, which it is. So, yeah, we're just taking it fight by fight, I suppose.
Yes, good to hear, mate. And so I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask you. We've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I just want to say thank you to everyone really showing interest in like social media, like people who are buying tickets. It's been amazing. Like my sport's been well above what I thought I'd get before I turned pro, so that's been amazing. And my sponsors as well, who've helped me support me. So I've got Sam's Gift, the charity. I've got Red Chili Projects, High Grade Sportswear, Multiply X, VSF Garage Repairs, and I'm representing my corner woman, the Sealer, as well, who's going to be one of my sponsors as well. So just like to thank everyone really there.
Brilliant stuff. All right, thank you very much, Jason. And so maybe after this fight, or maybe a little bit further on down the line, we can come and have you back on the channel again.
Yeah, sure, no, that'd be great.
Lovely stuff. And so if you're on your own and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you like it, and thanks for watching.